There has got to be a center, something that is iconic, that suggests when I think of my career at the University of Oregon and the exciting things that happened to me since, that there is a place I associate with that. That place for anybody who was a journalism or communications major has got to be Allen Hall.
Obviously, this is not just about a building, it's the whole package. It's the best facilities for the best students in the nation. That's what we want to achieve here.
There's sort of no end to the stimulus that kind of comes from being around that place, whether it's in the library or down in the media center or with your fellow students or in class. There's just a lot to sort of keep you engaged.
The current space in Allen Hall was built for several hundred students. We now have 1,500 majors at the undergraduate level, 100 graduate students or more. This will provide simply just more space as well as higher quality space and space that is designed for teaching in the 21st century.
Well, my impression of the journalism school is that it's exactly where it needs to be. It's engaging aggressively the challenges to the profession and to the industry, but it's also responding remarkably well and with great nimbleness to the interests of the students who want to major in journalism.
How do you get this wonderful cohort of new students and faculty involved in the day-to-day excitement of what we do?
To best prepare the journalists of the future, we need to give them a space to work together and create the new journalism that so many of us are unsure about but also excited about.
These are two old buildings we have here, one from the early 20s and one from the early 50s. And things were different then.
The journalism school is such an important school both to the University of Oregon and to journalism, so we should have a space that honors that.
Young, smart people coming to the University of Oregon expect to be entering a field that is changing and moving very fast.
We need a space that can keep up with that can have the flexibility to keep up with the changing technology and environment so that students can really be 21st century journalists when they graduate from the University of Oregon.
This building is in the heart of the arts and sciences, and that's where it should be as well. That's why we want to keep journalism in the very center and core of the university's campus.
In order for the School of Journalism and Communication to continue to maintain its place among the leading journalism programs in the United States and in fact in the world, we need to have the kind of facility that will allow us to provide the kind of education and the kind of research that we are capable of doing and that we're prepared to do.
If the U of O wants to attract the top talent in young journalists, then it needs to have the sort of things that young people entering the university are going to look at and say, yeah, I could see myself there.
So the school has got to have the resources to ensure that it is preparing young people to not just succeed, but I think excel.
The students that will be coming out of Allen Hall and out of the journalism program here are going to be prepared to compete successfully in the future because of this new collaborative environment.
But I think there needs to be more community areas because journalism is so collaborative nowadays. We have the mixing of media, and that entails advertising to go along with PR, to go along with multimedia marketing. Because it's all so integrated, we need the space to echo that integration.
To be able to have those places where ideas come alive 24/7. This isn't a time just for classrooms 1 or 2 hours a day.
They're going to have computing labs that are going to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So it'll provide much greater access to the computer labs and the facilities.
The Digital Commons promises to be one of the places that really will make real our promise about interactive learning.
You need cutting-edge technology, the materials. It can't just be pen and paper anymore.
The idea behind the Digital Commons is to really break down the walls between the different types of workspaces that students are working in, because ultimately they need to move between the different spaces far more readily than they used to.
We have the foresight and the willpower to develop an actual hearth for the building, a place where people recognize this is the place people congregate. Then you get together and you actually talk about stuff, and that's important because it stimulates ideas that, that you may not have had, or it contributes to ideas that you already have, puts a fresh pair of eyes and another intellectual mind on it. And you can't cooperate if you can't get together. And this new building is really going to help us get together.
This project is really the culmination of all of that we have done to date, and really will set the school in a very good position.
We've been very, very fortunate to receive from the state a $7.5 million bond that will pay for half of this expansion.
And the fact that the University of Oregon identified this project as its top legislative priority in the last session speaks quite loudly of both the confidence that the legislature and the university have in the school, and perhaps more importantly, it speaks to their understanding of the great significance and importance of journalism in a democratic society.
Every dollar that we spend has to have a return for the state of Oregon. And if we do not have a healthy journalistic infrastructure in the state, our state doesn't work. Our democracy doesn't work.
Were it not for extraordinary support from friends and alumni of the School of Journalism and Communication, none of this would be possible. None of the renovation that has taken place to date could have happened. And certainly the Allen Hall Transformation Project would not be at the point of being ready to break ground.
The people that contribute to them are very generous, and everybody works very hard to make this happen. A lot of very selfless people out there.
We've been even further blessed with a gift from a wonderful anonymous donor that has gotten us 2/3 of the way to the match. So we're very close to being able to actually add on to this wonderful enterprise.
The $5 million lead gift on the Allen Hall Transformation Project has taken us a long way towards reaching our goal. We are on our way toward that goal, but there are many other opportunities to be part of this project. We have classroom spaces, we have office spaces, we have a whole array of spaces that need to be funded in order to make this project a reality. And this is an opportunity to be part of this project.
I think we obviously need all the alums who've been through this fabulous school and this building to realize how important it is that we go through this transformation. It isn't about classrooms or walls or tables and people. It's about what's going to be accomplished there. It's going to be the end result of what this transformation is going to be.
Learning has been transformed, and we need to support that.
Contrary to popular belief, journalism is far from dead, and I think a new space will really echo the fact that the industry is changing, and we need to change along with it to make sure that our journalism students are prepared for that change.
You've got to have the right learning environment so that students can really maximize their potential.
This building, while it's brick and mortar, its real purpose is to create the space in which this kind of learning, this kind of research, this kind of leadership can take place.
I'm thrilled because I think it really does create a very different kind of learning environment for the next generation of students in Eugene that helps sort of take the core principles that I was exposed to as a student and just builds and builds and builds on those and takes advantage of all the tools that we have.
As we realize our opportunities and our optimism pay off, we need a place to make that real. This building that we have planned, this building that has so much of the soul of what good journalism, good advertising, good communication, and the professionalism that goes into that, this building holds the promise for the future of journalism.